Okay, good morning, class. So, how's your day? Before we move on to our next topic, let's find out if you know something about it. So, get your pen and paper, read carefully and answer the following statements. Write through if the statement is correct and false if it is not. Okay? So, let's begin. 1. A pyramid is a polyhedron. A pyramid is a polyhedron. 2. A cylinder is an example of prism. A cylinder is an example of prism. 3. A cube has 8 edges. A cube has 8 edges. 4. The faces of any type of pyramid is a rectangle. The faces of any type of pyramid is a rectangle. 5. A sphere is a polyhedron. A sphere is a polyhedron. 6. The cone has one vertex. The cone has one vertex. 7. A cube is also a rectangular prism. A cube is also a rectangular prism. 8. A hexagonal prism has 6 rectangular faces. A hexagonal prism has 6 rectangular faces. Number 9. A cone can be polyhedron and non-polyhedron. A cone can be polyhedron and non-polyhedron. And last number 10. A triangular or rectangular prism has a curved surface. A rectangular prism has a curved surface. Okay, are you done? So let us check your answers. For number 1, the answer is true. Number 2, false. Number 3, false. Number 4, false. Number 5, false. Number 6, true. Number 7, true. Number 8, true. Number 9, false. And number 10, false. Okay, count the number of the correct answers. If you got 8, 9, or 10, well, good job, because you passed this activity. Let's now have another activity. Just take a look in each figure, and then you're just going to identify whether the given figure is a plain figure or a solid figure. Just write letter P for plain figures and letter S for solid figures. Write your answer on your paper. You may start now. Are you done? Let us now check your answers. For number 1, that is a solid figure, so letter S. Number 2, S. Number 3, P. Number 4, S. Number 5, P. Number 6, P. Number 7, S. Number 8, S. Number 9, S. And number 10, P. Count the number of your correct answers and write your score. Did you get 8, 9, or 10? Good job, because you passed this activity. Now, take a look at this picture. What do you see in the picture? Correct. Those are mountains, right? If we're just going to look at the picture, we can say that the shape of a mountain is triangle. But in reality, if you're going to look at a mountain, the real shape of it is a prism. Most commonly, it is called triangular prism. So what is a prism? Is it a plane figure or a solid figure? Okay, so let's find out. Let us give the difference between the two. Plane figures are two-dimensional shapes and they look flat. Okay, so they can be made of straight lines, curved lines, or both. So you already knew different plane figures. So what are those? We can say a triangle is a plane figure, a circle, a square, a rectangle. So those are examples of plane figures as long as they have flat surface. Okay? Solid figures are three-dimensional objects, meaning they have length, width, and height. Because they have three dimensions, they have depth and take up space in our universe. Solid figures are identified according to the features that are unique to each type of solid. Specifically, you can observe the numbers of faces, edges, and vertices, as well as the shape of the base. A solid figure that has all flat surfaces is a polyhedron. Again, that is a polyhedron. Each surface of a polyhedron is a face. Okay? Two faces of a polyhedron meet to form an edge. The edges meet to form a vertex. Okay, so let us take a look at the following solid figures. So let us visualize and identify the parts or the faces, the edges, and the vertices of each solid figure. So we now have our first solid figure. This is a cube. A cube has faces, edges, and vertices. When we say vertex, it means one. Vertices is the plural form of vertex. Okay? So, two faces will meet, it will form an edge. Two edges will meet, it will form a vertex. Again, what you see in the picture is what we call cube. Now, we have here a square pyramid. Again, it has faces, edges, and vertices. Again, that picture or that figure is what we call a square pyramid. Now, take a look at the next figure. Again, we have here a solid figure. So this solid figure is what we call rectangular prism. It has faces, edges, and vertices. Again, this solid figure is called rectangular prism. So later on, we're going to describe each solid figure. What we are doing right now is just we are visualizing each solid figure. Next solid figure that we're going to visualize is a triangular prism. Again, A triangular prism has faces, edges, and vertices. Again, this solid figure is what we called triangular prism. Some solid figures are polyhedrons and some are not. The cube, prisms, and pyramids are polyhedrons because they all have flat surface. Okay? If there are flat surfaces, that figure is a polyhedron. The sphere, cylinder, and cone are not polyhedrons because they do not have flat surfaces. Rather, they have curved surfaces. Okay? So let's move on. Our next solid figure is a cone. As you can see, a cone has a curved surface. So that means that a cone is not a polyhedron. A cone also has flat circular face. And that flat circular face is what we call the base of the cone. Next figure is a cylinder. A cylinder has two flat circular faces. So it means that it has two bases. Okay? So a cylinder is also not a polyhedron. Why? Because it has curved surface. So the surface is not flat, it is curved, so it is not a polyhedron. And lastly, or the last solid figure that you're going to visualize is a sphere. A sphere do not has bases or flat surfaces. Okay? It has curved surface. It looks like a ball. A sphere is also not a polyhedron. Okay, now let us study this table. As you can see, we have here the name of the solid figure, the illustration, definition, number of faces, number of vertices, and number of edges. Okay, so let us read one by one. The first solid figure is what we call rectangular prism. Again, take a look at the illustration and memorize. Okay, when we say rectangular prism, it is composed of two rectangular bases and four rectangular lateral faces. So all the faces and the bases of a rectangular prism are rectangles. Number of faces, 6. Number of vertices, 8. Number of edges, 12. So that is for rectangular prism. Next, we have here a cube. Take a look at the illustration. When we say cube, it is a prism with a square base and all of the faces are square. Number of faces, 6. Number of vertices, 8. Number of edges, 12. So that is for cube. Next solid figure is what we call triangular prism. Take a look at the illustration. When we say triangular prism, it is composed of two triangular bases and 3 rectangular lateral faces. Number of faces, 5. Number of vertices, 6. Number of edges, 9. So that is for rectangular prism. The next figure we have is a square-based pyramid. Take a look at the illustration. It is a polyhedron whose base is a polygon and the lateral faces are triangles. Okay, so the base is a square and the lateral faces are triangles. It has 5 faces, it has 5 vertices, and it has 8 edges. So that is for a square-based pyramid. Now we have here a cylinder. A cylinder looks like a can, okay? A can of milk, a can of sardines. So it has two circular bases that are congruent and parallel. So a cylinder has two faces, but it has no vertex and also it has no edge, okay? It only has two faces. Next figure, we have here a cone. A cone, it looks like an ice cream cone, right? So it has one circular base. One circular base only. Again, it do not have edge or vertex, but it has one face, and that is the circular base, okay? And the last solid figure is a sphere. A sphere looks like a ball. It is a curved surface of points that are all of the same distance from the center. So a sphere do not have vertex, edge, or face, okay? Because it is all curved. So it looks like a ball. So those are the different solid figures. Did you understand? Okay. Okay, now I'm going to give you sets of activities. Okay, so you're just going to answer these activities on your notebook or on a sheet of paper. So let's have independent activity number 1 first. So you're just going to match each solid figure from column A to the correct object to column B. Okay, so you're just going to write the letter of the correct answer. Ready? You may start now. Are you done? Okay, let us check. For number 1, the answer is letter D. Number 2, we have letter B. Number 3, letter F. Number 4, we have letter C. And number 5, we have letter E. Okay, count the number of the correct answers. If you got 4 or 5, good job, because you passed this activity. Now try to answer independent assessment 1. You're just going to identify each solid figure, okay? Write your answer with correct spelling, huh? Write your answer on your paper. Are you done? Okay, let us check. For number 1, the answer is cylinder. Number 2, we have here the square pyramid. Number 3, cube. Number 4, cone. Number 5, hexagonal pyramid. Number 6, rectangular prism. Number 7, triangular pyramid. Number 8, pentagonal pyramid. Number 9 is sphere. And number 10, rectangular prism. Count the number of the correct answers. If your score is 8, 9, or 10, good job, because you passed this activity. Next, answer independent activity 2. Choose a word from the box to answer each problem correctly. Some words be used more than once. Again, you're just going to write the answer on a sheet of paper. You may start now. Are you done? Okay, let us now check your answers. Number 1, the answer is rectangular prism. 2, cylinder. 3, sphere. 4, cylinder. 5, rectangular prism. 6, square. 7, edges. 8, 6. 9, rectangle. And number 10, triangle. Write your score. If you got 8, 9, or 10, again, good job because you passed this activity. Okay, next activity, we have your independent assessment 2. Read carefully and answer the following questions. Write your answer on a sheet of paper. You may start now. Finished? Okay, let us check. For number 1, the answer is sphere. Number 2, pentagonal prism. Number 3, square. Number 4, rectangular prism. And number 5, rectangle. Write your score. If you got 4 or 5, good job because you passed this activity. Job well done for doing those activities. Now to sum up our discussion for this morning. So again, what are the different solid figures? How will you describe each solid figure? Okay, very good. I hope you learned something in this topic. Now, let's move on to assessment. Read carefully and answer the following statements. You're just going to write true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. You may start now. Are you done? Okay, so let us check so that we can find out if you really learned something in this topic. Okay? So for number 1, the answer is true. Number 2, true. Number 3, false. Number 4, true. Number 5, false. Number 6, true. Number 7, true. Number 8, false. Number 9, true. And number 10, true. Write your score. If you got 8, 9, or 10, very good because you really understood our topic for today. Good job, kids! Okay, for your additional activity, you can answer this later and then we're going to check this in our next meeting. Okay, for additional activities, you're just going to illustrate the figure in each problem and determine the number of its faces, edges, and vertices. So you can make the table that we studied earlier as your guide. Okay, so we have here 3 items only. Again, we're going to check these in our next meeting. So that's all for today. I hope you really learned something from our topic. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.